My name is Greggory Moore. I'm a journalist for the District Weekly, lbpost.com, LB Report. I've written on this issue. I have to admit, though, I was a bit confused by one part of the ordinance, 587090I, which says no sale of marijuana or of edible products containing marijuana shall be allowed, nor the sale or manufacture of these products for sale should be permitted. I thought that had to do with prohibiting edibles. Apparently, it seems to, and in the way Mr. Shannon talked about it, there seems to be some indication that sale of marijuana is not legal. And Mr. Shannon was talking about in his staff report, he seemed to be running together for-profit, also, using this term over-the-counter, which is not a legal term. There's significant case law to confirm that monetary contributions are allowed. Williams versus Butte County says it appears that contrary to the stated policy of Butte County, the legislator intended collective cultivation of marijuana would not require physical participation in the gardening process by all members of the collective, but rather would permit that some patients would be able to contribute financially. People versus Ursenu, talking of the medical marijuana state law, it says its specific itemization of the marijuana sales law indicates it contemplates the formation and operation of medicinal marijuana cooperatives that would receive reimbursement for marijuana and the services provided in conjunction with the provision of that marijuana. And then even in the city staff's favorite case, People versus Mensch, the Compassionate Use Act extends immunity from state prosecution for cultivation or possession for sale to qualified patients and their designated primary caregivers. As far as the privacy issues, I think, with due respect to Ms. Myers, she really soft-pedaled the invasiveness that this has on patients. It seems pretty clear that this information is required when the collectives open to be turned over to the city, and that not only that information, but also every single contribution that a member makes is kept on record, and the city could access it under the proposed ordinance at any time for any reason, not suspecting of a crime, not probable cause, any reason. I'd like to remind the full council what was said at the August 4th meeting. Councilmember Gablich, after hearing concerns about this very issue, said, quote, "We do not need to have a list of the names of the patients." Councilmember Lowenthal, I tried to reach her for comment on this. She would not comment on this subsequently. However, Councilmember Garcia's office said that he would never support forcing every collective to give the names of their patients to the city. They're entitled to privacy. And Vice Mayor Lurch said collectives should not have to give patient information over to anybody absent a court order. It seems like with this ordinance, we're trying to have the city be as invasive and involved as possible with our limited resources, as opposed to distributing them in ways that we need more appropriately. As Sergeant LeBaron of the Los Angeles Police Department said, I think most officers would say they'd rather be paying attention to the crack dealer with a gun in his belt than to medical marijuana. Just one quick point in closing, point 5.87040I, it requires collectives to have 24/7 interior-exterior video surveillance with a 30-day memory, which doesn't sound so bad, except that part of the explicit provision here is that police would have access to this at any time for any reason or for no reason. So if a police officer wanted to simply harass the collective, they'd be protected. They'd have the right under this ordinance to go in and look at it. And at the August 4th meeting, Councilmember Gablich instructed City Manager West to please stop having police go in and try to look at business licenses when the police knew that dispensaries could not have business licenses. So obviously police will harassment if that's the cue you give them. And to give them this kind of access is again, just intimidating for patients. The ordinance as it is, it stinks of putting politics above patients. And I think we can do a lot better. Thank you.